Welcome, guys. How are you guys tonight? How is everybody tonight? Welcome to Sip and Talks House. How is everybody doing? I am so glad. Am I on? Welcome, everybody. I am so glad you guys are in here tonight. Welcome to Sip and Talk tonight, you guys. We have an awesome treat tonight. I am so excited for this guy to be on Sip and Talk tonight. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, go get your favorite beverages, come back, kick off your shoes, relax your feet, and get ready to sit with your girl, Miss Sip and Talk, because it's going down tonight on Sip and Talk. I can't wait for this guy to come on. I've been trying to get this guy for the last couple of days. Finally got him. So y'all, I have to introduce no other than Mr. Cadillac Man. Come on, Mr. Cadillac Man.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Do you hear echo in my mic?
I can hear you very well. How are you doing, Mr. Cadillac Man? What's going on?
It's just a blessing. Ain't nothing going on but just blessings, blessings and lessons.
Blessings and lessons. That's the best thing. Listen, what you sipping on? I'm sipping on me some almond Parma, me some lemonade and tea tonight from Chick-fil-A.
I'm sipping on some H2O, better known as water.
Are you relaxed? Because I'm going to need you to relax because, we finna get straight into
Oh, yeah.
Get relaxed because I know you finna keep the 100 with me.
Oh, yes. And so 100 that at 8 o'clock, I got to see the Oval.
Listen, y'all, let me tell y'all. When I scheduled this interview with Cadillac Man, because you keep the 100 with y'all, let me tell y'all what Mr. Cadillac Man gonna tell me. Can we make sure the interview is over with by at least 7:45? Because, see, I got to watch the Oval. Is what he said, y'all. He got to watch. I said, so you rather be watching the Oval than talk to Sip? He said, my life is simple. I keep it simple. And the Oval is included in that simple life.
Right. It's one of my passions.
We're going to get through this interview, Mr. Cadillac Man. First of all, can you start off telling us where you are located and where you're from?
Currently, I'm residing in a little city called Opelika, Alabama, but I was born in a very historical city called Tuskegee, Alabama. And the reason I say it's historical, because most people know about Lionel Richie and the Commodores, straight out of Tuskegee. Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver, straight out of Tuskegee. Rosa Parks, they refused to go to the back of the bus, Tuskegee. And last but not least, the Tuskegee Airmen.
Wow. So you down there standing on the backs of a whole lot of greats where you originated from.
A lot of legends came out of Tuskegee.
A good college down there as well. So
right, Tuskegee University still exists.
Yes, exactly. So, Mr. Cadillac Man, I gotta ask you: are you married? Are you single? Are you shacking, divorced? What's going on, Mr.
I like to use the word shacking with cohabitating.
Is that what we doing?
Me and my queen cohabitates.
I tell you, I knew I was going to get ready to laugh tonight. So for the people that do not know who you are, tell them what type of artist you
are. First and foremost, I'm a down-to-earth artist. When I perform, music is an art, first of all. And so what does an artist do? An artist draw on a canvas, but a musical artist, I draw a picture in a person's mind, and I minister to my fans. So my artistry meets my ministry. And what I mean by that, when I perform, my objective is to uplift, to encourage, and inspire my fans as well as entertain them at the same time. So, in a sense, I'm really ministering to them. Because if they go home the following week and say, "Man, Cadillac Man really did a great show," and if I lift their spirit through the remainder of the week and making them bringing joy to them, I minister to them.
Right. So your type of music, what type of music that you actually do?
I do Southern Soul, but with a little gospel flavor because I was a choir director for 7 years. So you can hear the gospel in me, the quartet in me.
Yeah. So would you consider yourself a Southern Soul artist?
Southern Soul blues artist. And I'm glad you brought that up. So some people are gonna get mad with me, but I'm gonna bring it out there.
Go ahead.
Southern Soul music is a genre that is like they just put it together and throw it out there. At the end of the day, Southern Soul blues music ain't nothing but old school rhythm and blues. We just the modern day Johnny Taylors, the Tyrone Davis, the Marvin C's. That's all we are. And the Bobby Womack's.
So what do you think about this Southern Soul, the way Southern Soul is? What do you think about that?
Initially, when I first came into the game back in 2017, it had a little structure. It was a little more love in it, but now it has become so saturated with so many up and coming artists. There's not a lot of structure. There's a lot of hating going on now. There's a lot of infighting going on now. There's a lot of favoritism going on. It don't got to be like gang banging in a sense, if you know what I mean. What I mean by that, in California, they got a gang called the Crips and the Bloods. Their whole objective is to be a rivalry. You got artists out here now having a rivalry with one another for whatever reason. And it's not so much in a physical thing, but going behind each other's back, telling promoters that I wouldn't put him on the show if I was you. Or they know you got the talent, they know you got the music, but you never get a chance to be on some of them great shows. And you kind of just know that I got radio jocks that won't even play my music right here in my home state.
So you're trying to say Southern Soul is clicked up. It's no togetherness in Southern Soul.
You couldn't have picked a better word. It ain't about talent like it back in the days. Your talent is what got you in the door, and your talent would pretty much kept you in the game. You could have a messed up personality. Look at David Ruffin. Look how long he stayed in the industry with his screwed up behavior. Right. But what kept him in for the long haul was his talent. Okay, but you got a lot of people today who don't have talent. When I say talent, not as talented as somebody who should be in a different position, but yet they can get on all the shows, and some of them can't hold a note in a bucket.
So you think Southern Souls has shown to accept instead of the great or the people that really can perform and sing, you think Southern Soul is just accepting any and everything into into Southern
Soul? It don't got just so clicked up to the point where, as the young folks say, who you rocking with. If I'm rocking with this particular artist and I got a good relationship with this particular promoter, I say, man, hey, if he books me, I get in his ear and say, hey, man, give my boy a shot. My boy probably ain't got no talent. He can just do a little something, but he ain't really that talent. He don't have stage presence. He don't dress accordingly. He don't know how to interact with the fans. So out of doing me a favor, the promoter said, well, what's his name? How much you charge? Call him and give him a job. A lot of that is going on.
Right.
A lot of that is going on.
You think a lot of it is dealing with promoters that are clicked up with certain artists? The reason why everybody is not getting their fair chance on shows.
Let me tell you what I had. I'm not gonna throw nobody names out. That's one thing I don't do. I don't put. I speak the fact, but without defaming anybody, I don't put their name. But there was one promoter who's a major promoter. Everybody's game is not a promoter. Some people think just getting some money together, putting on a show. It's more dynamics than that to it. It's a science to this thing. It's an artwork. It's some structure to it, some levels to it. But they got some promoters It was a promoter who was a major promoter in the game who actually told me he don't feel like artists are getting looked over. And the next day he had a talk show. He said, I'm gonna try to help you. He said, because a lot of artists out here got talent are getting looked over every day. But he told me the artists are not getting looked over.
Wow.
So, see what I'm saying? So right there, I was watching the talk show. So I started to intervene. Said, well, you told me the day before that artists are not getting looked over, but yet the next day you had a talk show. You tell another artist, I'm gonna try to help you because a lot of artists got talent getting over. It's a no-brainer. So right there, I saw and firsthand that a lot of promoters are fighting what you call hitting below the belt.
Wow. Yeah.
They won't take accountability when you call them on their crap. A lot of them.
So what do you think about the different styles of music that is coming into Southern Soul? What do you think about that? Do you consider a lot of that music being Southern Soul, or just a thought? What do you think about that?
A lot of music is coming to the Southern Soul since you got so many artists that's coming out the woodworks, or the rat race we call it back when I was living in the big city. It's like a musical gumbo, if you know what a gumbo is.
Right.
If you listen to a lot of music, you're gonna hear some country, you're gonna hear some western, you're gonna hear some gospel, and you're gonna hear some reggae and some jazz.
Right. So you don't see anything. Do you consider that new type of music coming in? Do you consider it to be Southern Soul, or do you consider it to be other? How can I put this? Other styles or other genre of music? Do you see
Okay,
it being a part of Southern Soul?
I'm gonna break it down for you. When you ever heard of television, the word television,
Yes.
if you break that down, it tells lies to your vision. Okay, so I'm gonna break Southern Soul down the same way. Southern Soul means just what it means. We're performing in what is known as the Chitlin Circuit. That's the same circuit that Sam Cooke, Lou Rawls, Bobby Womack, Johnny Taylor, and all them boys travel up and down the southeast coast. So that's
Right.
why they call it Southern music because it hasn't went mainstream yet. It's pretty much in the South. So it's Southern Soul. They said Southern Soul because you're not having a lot of Southern Soul artists in California, Chicago. They got artists all over the world. But it's right in the deep South, like Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Arkansas. So it's really Southern Soul blue.
Right.
That's
So,
all.
so do you
The
think?
Southern Soul is just a brand. You know what I'm saying? You know, some people say potato, potato. It's just the brand that they put on it.
So do you see that Southern Soul, the men in Southern Soul, and the women in Southern Soul? Do you see that? Do you think that there is a difference made between the females and the males on to be even booked for shows? Do you think that has a lot to do with promoting, or is it just because that women are just being discriminated in this business? Period. What do you think?
Well, women have to prove themselves a little more, a little harder because it's a male dominant industry, the Southern Soul industry. You know, it's pretty much dominated by male artists. So when a female come in the game, she really got to be a total package. She got to be able to sing good, kind of look good, stage presence, a people person, and the whole nine.
Now,
And she
now,
got to be the kind of, and then she got to be the kind of woman that stand on principle because a lot of people will try to come at her with making sexual advances, you know, so they got to keep their guard up.
so why is that? Do you think that's fair that a woman would have to come into this business, prove herself to a bunch of men? I mean, some women would say, "Who are you for me to prove myself to?" Some of them may not even can sing as well as that female artist. So do you think that's fair that she would have to come in and pay dues to whom? I'm just asking the question.
No, I mean, and it's a valid question. No, it's totally it's totally unfair. But unfortunately, I had to learn that painful lesson about life a long time ago, and that is life is not fair. You know, so it is what it is. But you know, the women, the ones that stand on principles, they don't take that route. And all they do, and I talk to a lot of them, and I give them words of encouragement. Just keep pushing. Just keep grinding. Just be passionate. Don't chase the money at first. Chase your dream. The money will come. That's all. Just keep knocking on doors. Just keep making noise, and you'll get your proper recognition. Because I'm doing it as a male artist. But yes, that's all they got to do is just stand firm, believe in themselves, and
Okay,
don't sell themselves out.
so let me ask you this. I heard you say that as long as the woman can sing, look good, or whatever, she could pretty much make it into this business. So
Well,
what is
she get a better she has a better chance. You
but
know what I'm saying? Because
isn't that male chauvinist? Isn't that just being showing
uh,
discrimination? I mean that
well, yeah, that's like a double-edged sword from okay, from a professional point of view. As a promoter, promoters are looking at it like from this point. 95% of all your fans in Southern Soul are females.
correct.
When you agree with that, so since 95% of all the fans are females, that means um, promoters are looking at the fact that uh, she's not going to have the same draw as that artist because all the women coming to see them guys. They want to see all the men with the shirts off and moving their butt around. Not to say that they want to enjoy a female artist, but it's a whole different take when they're looking at a man on stage. So the promoter looking at it this way, excuse my language, but how many asses can you put in the seat versus a hot male artist?
Wow, because you know what? It seems to me that Southern Soul is stuck in a certain era because the world is changing all around us, and if we are dealing with the LGBT communities, you got women out here liking women, you got men out here liking men. It seems like it has not changed because that should have drawn the crowd. A woman should be able to draw any type of crowd with the way society has changed now. I mean, we still living in, it's like Southern Soul is still in slavery,
But let,
almost.
but let me clear something up for the record. It's not all the promoters. So for the record, I have a composition tablet with over 150 promoters because that's what I do. I make it my business to network because that's why they call it show business.
Correct.
I work with words. I juggle words. Show business. When you're on the stage, it's all about stage presence, how well you deliver your song. That's the show side of it. But when you're off stage, you got to know the business side of it. So all promoters are not that's the word. A lot of them are not professional promoters. And what's the difference between a professional promoter? A professional promoter will already know that. Let me find that balance. Now I book this X amount of male, X amount of females, are because they understand the science of it and the dynamics of it. They're visionaries. They're not going to be closed minded. They play chess instead of checkers, so that they see what they need to do.
Right.
They'll balance it out. Was some guys who just got some money. There's a whole lot of guys got a pocket full of money and just say, I'm just gonna throw a show together. No, it takes more than that. You got to make sure ain't no big important basketball game that day, no football game that's going on today. You got to make sure that another promoter haven't had that artist within the last 2 or 3 months within 50 to 100-mile radius of where you're doing your show. You got to do your homework. There's a whole lot of stuff that it entails.
So what
You got to
do you
make sure you got to make sure you get the right host to host that show because the host of the show is the person that keeps it primed up and keep them
exactly?
hyped up for the most part.
So what do you think about the shows that are going on? What do you how do you feel and how do you see that the shows that are going on right now that are being promoted right now? What do you think about the way that they are being promoted versus when you first started in this business?
They're pretty much booking the same artists year after year or every 3 or 4 months. They're pretty much the same artists on that's headlining, and I get it. It's about the money. So it's like people who got the talent, who's up and coming, who need a shot, who need some exposure. It's kind of like hard to get in, get your feet in the door when the promoter just thinking about all I want, I know that you can't. This person could be the next King George. It could be the next Tucker, but they got to get on somebody's stage and get exposed and be seen. And it's kind of hard. So what they do, they put the same ones out there. The same. Now this is not talking about. I'm just speaking facts. So anytime I speak facts, I put it out there. They put this. They put the Calvin Richardson, the Tucker, the King George, who else? Adrian Badger. They put them up the same guys on the same shows, on the same, and the Poke Bear. And every now and then you might find a no name or somebody who's coming up, but for the most part, they always got the same headliners. The guys who have a name, but the promoter looking at the fact these people got a bigger fan base, so they put more money in my pocket.
Wow. Hold that thought 1 second. Listen, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in to Sip and Talk. It's getting hot up in here. We are excited to have Cadillac Man on. I'm going to give you guys a break. We're going to go to commercial, and I want you guys to go get your favorite beverages, fill your glasses up, and come back and sip with me and Cadillac Man. Are we doing commercial? We were. Well, I guess we're not going to commercial. So I'm waiting for the cue in to go to commercial break. So give me 1 second. My producing team. I love you guys.
It's picnic time. Eufaula, Alabama, get ready. It's time for the picnic. The Ladies of Southern Soul Picnic. Saturday, April 15th, 2023. Live at the Pine Valley Ranch. The Pine Valley Ranch. 35 Marshall, Eufaula, Alabama. The Ladies of Southern Soul Picnic. The gates open at 11 a.m. Showtime's at 2 p.m. Bring those tents and grill. This is going to be an epic event. Performing live. She is the queen of Southern Soul. Her name is Westla. Queen the Southern Soul Divas in the house. Here's Karen Wolf. Get ready for Lacey. It's Miss Brown Sugar. Get ready for Miss Lady Blue.
You want a good one.
The one and only Toya Joe. Here comes Ice Dog. Live Miss Hollywood. Saturday, April 15th. The gates open at 11 a.m. Showtime's promptly at 2 p.m. Your picnic host. Get ready for Mario Day. And the one and only DJ Trucker. Saturday, April 15th, live at Pine Valley Ranch. Eufaula, Alabama. For tickets and information, call 334-695-4375. 334-695-4375. 444-660-3767. Saturday, April 15th, live in Eufaula, Alabama. The Ladies of Southern Soul Picnic. Live at Pine Valley Ranch in Eufaula. This one's going to be epic. You better get your cameras out. Get your tickets now. And make sure you're there.
Sunday, April 9th, HIO Entertainment presents Easter Weekend, Huntsville, Alabama Southern Soul Blues Concert and After Party. Happening at Club Envy, 200 Oakwood Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. With performances by West Love, Stan Butler, Jason A, R.T. Taylor, a.k.a. the Mule Man, and News Williams.
Got all my blue suede shoes ready to make a move. There's a party going.
Hosted by Mississippi Talk and co-host DJ OJ. And DJ Charlie Hustle will be on crowd control. Also, there will be an after-party special guest, Chicago's very own Mr. Theo Huff. Tickets also available on Eventbrite. Doors open at 6 p.m. Showtime starts at 8. For more info, call 256-276-9164.
I wanna know just my luck.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
If I'm not mistaken, did I miss some on that promotion just now, on that advertisement?
No, sir. You what did you miss?
Did they mention my name? The Cadillac Man will be on that show as well.
Yes, the Cadillac Man is on that show. We have another flyer up, and they did not redo the drop on that show.
Okay.
They didn't They didn't. Well, Cadillac Man, you and I are going to talk about this.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm used to it.
No,
I've been treated like a redhead stepchild all of my life.
Listen, don't blame the messenger. I'm only hosting this show.
That's all good.
So, but Cadillac Man, things like this that happens on shows, do you see that being a problem?
What was the question again about what?
Just
Specify.
You were saying you're on this show, but I think you were added on at the last minute. Do you think that when these things happen, that becomes a problem for you guys when you're?
No. That's a minor issue because as long as I'm on the show, as long as I know, I'm not that egotistical that I trip over something that's been paid. As long as the promoter knows that he's authorized me to be there, and I know I'm gonna be there. But what it does, it just helps the promoter because I got a fan base. It's somebody in every city that's in Southern Soul that knows me, and so it'll just help the attendance in the event that somebody that knows me. Matter of fact, I know a guy lives in Huntsville from Chicago. I met him when I did a show in Chicago, and he lives in Huntsville. He follows me, so if he could saw something in reference to me doing it, he might come out. That's all.
We put out a second flyer and added all of the add-ons to that second flyer. So I apologize to you on Sip and Talk behalf.
That's all. That's a small thing. It's a small thing. As long as I get a chance to get there and show up and show out, that's what matters.
But I did make sure that there were another flyer added with.
I got that flyer, and somebody did a great job. Whoever made that flyer did a great job.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I tell you, Mr. Cadillac Man, I know you was going to keep it 100 with me on here.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate that. And let me say this to all the people, all the fans. We appreciate my fans that are out of state. I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight, listening to Sip and Talk. I appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity to come through from Stunner Radio to iHeart. We are just excited to be streaming all of these major platforms, YouTube, Facebook. I am excited to have all of you beautiful guys tuning in to Sip and Talk. Mr. Cadillac Man is going to, again, keep it 100 because that's what he do. So, I'm going to ask the questions. So, Mr. Cadillac Man, let's get straight into this before we exit this. Do you think that Southern Soul is going to expand as far as the diversity in songs? Do you think that rap is going to be accepted into Southern Soul, reggae, jazz? Do you think they're going to go into those different eras and accept that into Southern Soul?
No time soon. I know several artists that can attest to it. A lot of promoters if you mention the word rap to them, it has a stigma to it. And a lot of them, I know females and male artists, you know what I'm saying, they just have to grind harder, but a lot of promoters are not really embracing it right now.
Well, we have bad news that is making waves through Southern Soul.
But
So,
I call bad news my nephew. So what bad news is, what bad news did, he got creative. He got tenacity. You know, he works with Sir Charles. Sir Charles Jones is like family with him. So what he did, he got his rap, but if you listen to his style, he didn't make it like the rap like back in the 80s. It's bluesy to it. Blue suede shoes. You know, he'll sing and he'll rap. Before Johnny Taylor died, Johnny Taylor did an R&B song, but he had a rapper. Some gospel group sang gospel, and they got a gospel rapper now. So he combined it. He didn't make it exclusively rap.
So do you see the type of music that News is doing? Do you see that expanding into Southern Soul and being accepted by more? Because you got one side that just do not want to accept it, and then you have another side that have truly embraced what he's doing.
The way it works, if you're touching the fans and making a difference to the fans, you just keep being you and keep pushing you, and then once the promoters see the people are coming out and they're embracing it, they ain't got no choice but to rock with it. But by the same token, like I said, News was creative enough to where if you listen to his song, it's not just rap, hardcore rap. You know, he dressed like a blues singer. He ain't dressing like no rapper. He ain't got no baggy pants on. He ain't sagging. You know, coming out there with white Beatles shirts on. He got his blue suede. He got his swag on, and he looks like a blues singer. And he just put a little rap with it, but with some, he seasoned it with some blues.
So yeah, so that means a lot when you can still dress, and that's another thing. What do you think about the dressing, the attire that a lot of these singers are actually wearing, and they say they're Southern Soul? What do you think about that?
I got a young man that I manage, and he wants to wear a baseball cap all the time, and he want to wear the jeans that are all ripped and cut. I say, you're 50 years old, and I said, so you have to know your demographic. In the Southern Soul blues world, 95% of your fans are female, and 95% of your fans are in the age bracket of lower 40s, 50s, and 60s. So if you're a 50-year-old man, you come and you put a nice hat on. Sometimes you can put a blazer on, some slacks. For the most part, you got to do all you got to imitate Johnny Taylor, Tyrone Davis. Them boys just dress, because what it does, it gives you the total package. If you can sing good and you have to dress real good and got stage presence, now you have what is known as a total package.
So do you think?
However, everything ain't etched in stone. There are some artists, depending on what kind of energy they got, they can get away dressed any kind of way. Look at Tucker. Tucker don't get dressed up. He be dressed down. He got his cap on, he got his jeans on, but that's Tucker because he carved a niche for himself way before this Southern Soul thing got the way it is today.
And then it also has something to do with looks and appearances.
If you're a pretty girl or a pretty boy, if you're a pretty girl or a pretty boy, that helps. That helps a lot.
Because Calvin can get away with just about wearing anything as well too. But
right.
But I noticed between yourself, Theo Huff still dress like he's a professional and he's ready to come and perform like
he got that Tyrone Davis spirit in him.
Exactly. So I do remember back in the days, anytime we would go into a show, especially when my mom then was out and they were going out, a lot of men always dressed up in suits. That's where they went to, and it was a certain I think a respect that they had for themselves back then. But now we're seeing.
But let me interject. That's if you're inside. That's my take on that. But when you're outside doing a festival, then if you want to dress down a little bit, and it's hot outside, 80, 90 degrees, you can dress down. But if you're inside a door, inside venue, I think you should be looking like a Southern Soul Blues singer, like the Whisperers or like the Stylistic. It just because you can remember 95% of your fans are women. Women love to see a well dressed man.
That you can say. We do.
Even
We
if he
just
can't
want to
sing,
see a sexy man anyway. You know, it's all about
right?
the sexiness.
A well dressed man speaks volume. In other words, a ladies can be sitting at the bar having a drink. Brother can walk through that front door without saying one word. If they take a look, they go. If he swagged out, they're gonna take a double look. And the first
Exactly.
thing they're gonna say, man, that brother clean. Man, that brother sharp. Okay, so when you step on stage and you're looking like that, so they first impression, man, he clean. But now you grab that mic and open your mouth, damn, he can sing. They got a total package there.
Exactly. We're looking forward to a show too. When we see a man come out and he's dressed up and he's in a suit and looking really sexy, that makes us more interested in the show than a little bit because we now
Right.
ready to see what he's about to do. But now we got this new genre. We got this new millennium that are coming into Southern Soul as well. And they're not caring about the dressing up. Only thing they're caring about is the sex appeal, what looks good now. So I mean, do you change with the way the new world is going, or do you stay the same? Do you think if you stay the same, it's going to hinder your success, or do you think you need to change so your success can grow? I'm just asking a question. I don't have a dog in the fight.
I think my take on that is it has a lot to do with your age. Okay, like a guy, I'm 65 years old. I'm gonna come out there dressed if I'm inside with my sequence jackets on, or my blazer, my slacks, my dress shoes, my big hat. That's and my Versace shades on, whatever. That's me. That works for me. I'm gonna stick with that because I'm a 65-year-old guy. However, a guy that's 25 or 35, okay, he might dress different, you know, depend on his fan base, you know, because if he got a fan, and it has a lot to do with your personality too. If some people know, if you've had the opportunity to get enough exposure, pretty much overlook what you got on. It's at the
Oh
end of the
yeah.
day, it's your fans. If you got a big fan base, you can pretty much get away with anything.
Yeah.
You ready
You're
to?
right. But do you think that works for the women too? Do you think the more provocative that a woman dress as versus her being sexy but
Oh yeah,
covered,
yeah. I can answer
do you
that for
think
you,
that
but
hinders her show?
that's a no brainer. You know why? Because Southern Soul Blues music is all about. If you notice all the storylines and all the lyrics, and all the writing, right, they're singing about sex all the time. Sit down on it, ride it like a pony, can the liquor. She dragging that wagon. What the song? Even Miss Jody, she jump in that chair and she take her ride. You know, she found a guy. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll will always sell.
You're about right. You are so right about that. I tell you guys, we are so excited again to have Mr. Cadillac Man. And I do want to thank all the listeners that are listening in. Sip, love you. Sip, love to talk to you guys. But we're going to get one more commercial break in here. And while you got time to go fill up them cups and come back and kick off your shoes again and relax your feet. Because we're about to end this up, but Cadillac is about to keep it 100. You guys, we're going to commercial break. We'll be right back.